Good morning, writers! My name is Elora Gunn, and today we're going to be talking about 5 questions to ask your beta readers. If you are a new or aspiring author, click that subscribe button below, and also follow me on my socials, and the links are in the description. Let's get started. So you've hunted down a group of beta readers for your book. What now? How do you use them effectively? And what feedback should you be looking for? Instead of sending them your entire 80,000 word manuscript and just hoping for the best, let's set some expectations. First of all, I do not recommend slapping that entire thing in front of them and just letting them go wild. It's a terrible idea. Having the entire thing there in front of them is going to be really daunting, and you're going to lose beta readers that way. And if you do, they're not going to be able to focus in on the details that you need attention on. I personally like to break my manuscript down into several sections with like 2 to 4 chapters each. A good enough chunk that they can get a lot done, but not so much that you overwhelm them. And as I do that, I try to end it on a spot that's a natural break in the story, like a cliffhanger or a good little pause in the action, something that will give them that breather that would feel natural if they're just reading it. This does 2 things for you and for them. First, it keeps your beta readers focused on each separate beat of the story. And second, it gives you a good chance to check in with them about how it's going so far. So in a Google Doc, I will send them section 1 with the first couple of chapters of the book. And at the end of that section, I'll have several questions for them to answer before I give them the next part. So here are the first 5 questions that you need to be asking your beta readers. Number 1. Did you lose interest, even a little, at any point in the story? Where and why? The last thing that you want your readers to be is bored. It doesn't matter if you're writing a high-adventure, high-action sci-fi or fantasy, or if you're writing a slow-burn romance or something quieter. You need them to be invested in the story and the characters. Bored readers put down books, and they don't pick them up again. So before anything else, you need to know if your beta readers got bored, and where it happened and why they were bored. This is going to help you find weak sections of the story or parts of the plot that are just not necessary or poorly written. It's also going to reveal if your main character is just not engaging enough. Question number 2, could you picture the setting clearly, and what would help you picture it better? Writing scenery and background and just the world around my characters is a personal weakness of mine. I get so invested in the characters and their interactions and the dialogue that a lot of times they end up talking in an empty room. So after I've done my own edits, I always make sure my beta readers double check for me that they actually can tell where the story is taking place. Asking this question is going to help you to know if what you are imagining and describing is actually coming across to the readers. Remember, you're not making a stage production. You actually need to design a world around your characters. Question number 3. Are there any moments that you wished lasted longer? I love hearing feedback on this question. It just helps me to know which moments really shined, what parts they loved. Because then you can analyze those parts that just were the favorites of the whole group and figure out what you did right and how you can apply that to the rest of your book. Figuring out your strengths can make your writing even better because you pay attention to them and you lean into them more. And question number 4, at what point did you really start to become invested in the story? This question is essential, especially in the first section and the first couple chapters that you give to the beta readers. If you've given them the first couple chapters of your book and they answer this question with nowhere really, I don't feel like the story's really started, that is a huge problem that you need to fix right away. As the author, you need to know if you've really nailed that inciting incident or not. Just like I was saying with question 1, you need to know if they're bored, if the story hasn't started yet when it really should have. That might mean that you've started the story too early and you need to cut out a couple of chapters at the beginning of your book. And last of all, number 5, what do you predict is going to happen in the next part of the book? After reading each section, there's a few things that I really need to know from my beta readers. Did they pick up on enough of the clues that I left in the story so far? Did they pick up on too many of them? And alternatively, did they fall for any of the red herrings that I left, or any of the plot twists that I'm starting to set up? I love writing stories that people are going to want to reread so that they can go back, start over, and find all the little breadcrumbs that I left. I want them to want to go back and find all those clues that they missed out on the first time. That only makes sense after you reread it again. Also, I can generally tell by how enthusiastically they answer this question if I really truly have kept their interest. So I have them answer these questions, and I also highly encourage my beta readers to leave comments and thoughts or just exclamations throughout the manuscript as they're reading it, so I can see kind of real-time reactions of what they thought, what they liked, and what they didn't like. And also if I've left any blatant spelling or grammar errors that they went, that's not right. I really appreciate you double-checking my work, because they always seem to sneak in. So as you prepare to utilize your amazing beta readers, keep these questions in mind as a template for what you could use to get the most out of your interactions together. Beta readers put in so much hard work, you really don't want to waste it. Comment down below any other things that you feel you need to know from your beta readers or you'd like to know from your beta readers, and we can go over different questions that you could use to find out what you need to know. And also in these next couple of videos, I'm going to continue talking about beta readers, how you utilize them, some safety tips, and other things that are just going to make the experience better for you and for them. But that's it for this week. Now go get writing, and I'll see you next week with another video of helpful tips.